So my name is Daniel Wilsher. The thing I'm known for is using my journey and my experience to support others, basically. I'm also a musician and was a finalist on Channel 4 show The Piano. When you're in that fixed mindset, and believe me, I've been there before, it feels like you are banging your head against the wall, and it's scary because you have a vision of where you'd like to be, but it feels like you don't even know what the road to get there looks like, that you don't have the skills and you're not going to acquire the skills. It can be quite a daunting place to be in. I have the skills that I've been given, and that's by nature, and they're not going to change, and this is who I am for the rest of my life. That's what the fixed mindset feels like. When we're in a growth mindset, it's very different because we see the journey, and we might not know the road to get there, but we know that we'll try and we'll find that path. It's the idea that it doesn't matter where I am now because I know that my brain can grow and it can develop, and I can form new pathways in the brain, and I can learn new skills and acquire new things. And if somebody else has done it before me, then I can do it as well because I can take the steps that they've taken. And it's a much more freeing, much more liberating way to think. Our brain can grow and we can change our brain, and we have the power to do that and acquire new skills. And so the truth is growth mindset. I think that we are naturally messy as humans. We make mistakes, and I think it is the potential for failure coupled with the unpredictability of life and the obstacles that life throws at us that makes our stories worthwhile. You know, imagine if life didn't have some of those setbacks, how boring and how meaningless it would be. I'm 28 years old and I ended up nearly failing college, failed university, made some terrible decisions when it came to romantic partners, had a failed career in the music industry, lost the business after university, went through 4 years of depression, anxiety and suicidal ideation, went through a year's worth of therapy and medication whilst I was staying at my barber's because I couldn't afford money for rent, lost my first job in the corporate world. I started a new job after that and then was hit by COVID and went through a year of stress to then starting my first business as the UK's youngest full-time mental health public speaker. I'm out now on business 5 and I genuinely feel like I'm just starting out. So there's been so many challenges in my life, so many setbacks, but there's also been all the moments of wonder and magic that I've had in my own life, performing on Channel 4, The Piano at the Royal Festival Hall in front of 5 million people, which was amazing, to impacting the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. Picking up new hobbies, acquiring new skills, especially unusual ones, which other people don't do regularly, is probably one of the most powerful and most valuable things I've ever done. I was lucky enough to delve into the world of music from a young age, and I picked up the guitar at 5 years old. And yes, it was tough to learn. Yes, it was hard to get the finger placements, and I didn't have the muscles that were strong enough in my hand to even hold a bar chord in the first 6 months, but I kept at it because I really enjoyed it. The way that helped my brain grow as I was young was new creative pathways in the brain. I started to learn about improvisation. And so then I was self-taught on piano from 8. I started writing my own music at 8 years old, self-taught on the keys. Then at 16, I was wanting to go into music production. Every time I faced these challenges, I had a certain level of confidence now because I'd done it before. And so when I approached DJing, I said, listen, I've learned new instruments before. This is just a new instrument. I was curious and I was excited about learning. The biggest tool that I use is connection with myself. What do I think is the greatest way for me to reflect? It's journaling. It's pen and paper. There's no notifications coming in. There's no messages. To be in a space where we can find the answers that we need to find for problems that we may be facing. The next thing has to be the gym. It has to be fitness. The process of going to the gym and turning up. How does a muscle grow? Well, it takes tearing of the muscle fibers for new cells to fill in the gaps, for the muscle to grow, for it to become strong. So for you to become stronger in the gym, it takes pain, hard work, resistance and consistency for you to see the result. That principle can be applied to anywhere in life. You want to become a better speaker. It's painful at the start because you have to put yourself in awkward situations. You're going to go through moments where you feel like you are a beginner and feel like you're going to be made a fool of. You'll fail. You'll make mistakes. But in order to become a better speaker, you have to make it through those tough points and keep turning up and surround yourself with people who are really good at the craft to then become the speaker who can walk into any room and be amazing. What I would really advise is go and spend some time in the mixed community, because you're going to find people who are like-minded, who are looking to grow. The whole premise of the community is the resources, the learning for people to move forward and to develop skills. So you're going to be surrounded by your people, your community and your tribe. And the power of that is you will then make the relationships that will be important for you to get to wherever you're trying to go. Access the community, speak to people, find people who are on the same journey as you and enjoy it.